Welcome and good evening. My name is Laura Milner, and I am the Chair of Voter Services for the Kittitas County of Women Voters. It's my pleasure tonight to welcome you on behalf of the League, as well as the Ellensburg Daily Record and the Northern Kittitas County Tribune, to the Kittitas Mayor Candidates Night. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the League's production and post-production crew, Charlie Sorensen, Karen Raymond, and Dolores Irwin, for making this event possible. Kittitas County League, a nonprofit, has been in existence for over 50 years and has been presenting Candidates Night to help educate county voters since 1980. We are a nonpartisan, grassroots organization that never supports or opposes individual candidates or political parties. Our goal in hosting these events is to educate voters about candidates and their positions as they stand for election, because informed voters do make a difference. The League of Women Voters records and retains a full, unedited copy of all candidates' forums. If any portion of a League forum is distributed out of context to make a candidate appear to say something they did not say, or are edited to make a candidate look bad, or in any way they did not actually look at the original form, then the League of Women Voters will alert the media, provide the unedited video for comparison, and file appropriate complaints with any applicable governing authority. Tonight's forum will focus on candidates running for the Kittitas mayor position. Be aware that all candidates running for mayor were invited. Two candidates that are running for Kittitas mayor and have graciously agreed to appear here are John Camerata and Holly Pageant Downey. As we begin, I want to note that our ballots will be mailed July 16th. Please call the auditor's office if you don't receive yours in a timely manner. You still have time to register or change your address. You can do so online until July 26th and in person at the auditor's office by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, August 3rd. Your ballot must be postmarked on or before August 3rd. There are also 9 drop boxes throughout Kittitas County. If you're unsure where yours is, do check the auditor's office website for the complete list. In addition to this live stream event, the recording will be on the Kittitas League YouTube channel with links found at kittitasleague.org. We thank the following media partners for also sharing these forums: Ellensburg Daily Record and Northern Kittitas County Tribune. We have discussed the ground rules for the forum with the candidates prior to today's event. My job is to keep us on time and on task, which means that if a candidate goes past their time, I will move us along. The candidates have an opportunity to make a 2-minute opening statement. Then we will ask 6 prepared questions that we sourced from the community. We provided these questions to the candidates a few hours ago, and they will have 60 to 90 seconds, depending on question complexity, to respond to each question. Then we will move to up to 3 live stream audience questions, depending on time availability. The candidates will have 90 seconds to respond to each of these questions. The forum will conclude with a 60-second closing statement by each candidate. Should an opponent wish to rebut a response, they must signal they wish to do so. Once recognized, they shall have 30 seconds. Only 1 rebuttal per question will be permitted. We will rotate the order that the questions are asked, so no one candidate must always answer first. If I make an error in this regard, please let me know. If you are viewing this live, you can submit a question by texting 509-654-9030. That's 509-654-9030. The questions must be for all candidates. League members will review the questions. We may combine or edit them for clarity, nonpartisanship, and time limitations. Our primary voter's guide will go live on our website, kittitasleague.org, by July 15th. The guide includes links to candidates' campaign websites, if provided, financial filings, completed candidates, League of Women Voter questionnaires, and more. We urge you to check out and share this with other voters. At this point, we would like to welcome John Camerata and Holly Pageant Downey to this forum. Thank you both for taking the time to be with us, and thank you for your willingness to serve the community as Kittitas mayor. As we have discussed earlier, I will alternate who answers first. So we're beginning with opening statements. Mr. Camerata, we begin with you. You have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Okay, I am running for mayor, and I'm asking for the people's support. My qualifications are in the military, I was a personnel management specialist and received a Silver Star for setting up a personnel office in Vietnam. After I got out of the service, I led warehouse workers. After that, I went to the college and was a lead custodian at a convention center. So I set up conventions and all that stuff. And then I came out to Kittitas and became on the council. So I served on council since 2007. And I was mayor for 2 years, and I got off, and then I was brought back on and have been serving ever since. I also worked with PTA, Booster Club. I was a coach for soccer. I was coach for Little League Baseball. I worked with the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts when my boys were going through scouting. I've served on several social clubs, Parents Without Partners, and the Senior Citizen Center. So I've had a lot of experience in leading.
All right.
My reasons.
Thank you. Did I interrupt you, Mr. Camarado? You have 12 seconds left.
No, I'm good.
All right. My apologies if I did. Ms. Pageant Downey, you have 2 minutes to make your opening statement.
I'm Holly Pageant Downey. I go by Beard as well. I moved to Kittitas as a child in 1989. 4 years ago, my family and I moved back to Kittitas from Ellensburg, purchased a house out here, and this is where we intend to raise our family. I'm a lifetime volunteer. I volunteered at the local senior center. I volunteered for the community food bank, both in Kittitas and in Ellensburg. I sat as a board member on the Kittitas Food Bank, as well as a member of the board for the Key Communicators Group at the high school here. I was appointed to council 2.5 years ago, and I immediately took the opportunity. It has been challenging at times. It's spurred personal growth, but it's been quite rewarding. I learned a lot, and with the positive forward motion the last few years, I feel that now is the time, and Kittitas is ready for consistent, strong leadership, and I am ready to be at the helm and guide us Kittitas strong into the future.
Thank you. Beginning with question number 1. What is your vision for the town of Kittitas for the next 10, 20 years? Ms. Pageant Downey, you have 60 seconds.
I would like to see our community grow in diversity. My main focus, and I've been very vocal about this, is growing our downtown core, bringing arts and culture hand in hand with our basis in farming and agriculture to create a thriving business center, and boost tourism in our small town and community through putting a spotlight on Kittitas in a multitude of ways. Events is one of those. I believe that small towns can maintain the small town charm while developing and growing into a thriving small business community. And that is my primary goal for Kittitas.
Thank you. Mr. Camarado, I repeat the question for you. What is your vision for the town of Kittitas for the next 10 to 20 years? You have 60 seconds.
I see the town growing also, and I see us becoming a more professional, popular government and business oriented and growth in the businesses. We are trying to get a sewer line out to the interchange so we can have a business district down by the freeway entrance. I see growth going up north of town and towards the west. And I see a lot of social events where people can come together and learn about each other and talk to each other and become friends. That's pretty much what I see growing in the next 10 to 20 years.
Okay, thank you very much. Question number 2. Has the town of Kittitas done enough to prepare its citizens for catastrophic wildfire? What do you think needs to be done? Mr. Camarado, you start this round and you have 90 seconds.
Okay, the city has two creeks and a canal running through it, so we're pretty well water divided up so that fires can have a fire break. We also have a very well water system with a lot of fire hydrants, so we can attack fires from every direction. We are connected to the sheriff department's emergency management deal, so we will pull together an emergency management team if any emergency comes to play. We are pretty well situated for any fires that come to this area.
Okay, thank you. All right, repeating the question. Has the town of Kittitas done enough to prepare its citizens for catastrophic wildfire? What do you think needs to be done? Ms. Pageant Downey, you have 90 seconds.
Well, I agree with John. We do have quite a significant barrier with all of our agriculture and creeks. But I guess I would answer that question with a question. First, is there a wildfire response plan for our city already in place? If not, I would work closely with KVFR and other local agencies to establish a solid plan and work with our local police departments to solidify a plan of action in the event of an evacuation. Something that I feel is important and that I've talked to other community members about is I would like to see our city implement a telephone notification system. Not all residents have access to social media and the internet, although it's been a helpful tool in these and other situations. I do think that there needs to be some sort of implementation for a better communication system.
Thank you very much. Question number 3, it's a 2-part question. How would you describe the economy of the town of Kittitas, and what would you do to encourage an increasingly robust economy, especially as it concerns the need for a larger tax base? Ms. Pageant Downey, you start this round. You have 90 seconds.
Describing the Kittitas economy, I would say that we are making significant progress with the addition of new businesses coming in and residential developments. I would continue, as I have in the past 2 years, to put a spotlight on Kittitas through the continuation of wonderful family events, social media, other routes of advertising, updated forms of visual representation for our city. And I would take on an active role in working with our Economic Development Committee, as well as our city planner and our Kittitas County Chamber of Commerce to bring more business, more of a spotlight and more development and long-term residents to our community. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Camarado, I'm going to repeat the question. This is a 2-part question. How would you describe the economy of the town of Kittitas, and what would you do to encourage an increasingly robust economy, especially as it concerns the need for a larger tax base? You have 90 seconds.
Okay, our economy is better this year than it was last year, and it will improve a bit next year, but we are still in a depressed economy. Our economy, our sales tax is about what Ellensburg makes in our yearly tax is what Ellensburg gets in a month. So we don't really have that much income coming in from taxes. We need it to grow. So we are trying to get the sewer line out to the interchange where a lot of businesses can come in, and that will improve our tax base. We are also working with COG to get grants to help us do that, move the economy forward. We are working with the Chamber of Commerce to put together a program to help businesses get started, to put together plans and to start new businesses out here. We are looking to improve the downtown area. visually and get better buildings and more colorful so that we can improve the economy of the town.
Thank you. Question number 4. What actions would you take to support a positive working relationship between the mayor, the town staff, and other various committees and groups serving the town of Kittitas? Mr. Camarado, we begin with you. You have 60 seconds.
Okay, this Saturday at 10 o'clock, we will be having a town hall meeting starting at 10 o'clock. We will be looking at communications and transparency at this town hall meeting. I hope to have a town hall meeting every quarter now that the virus has been stopped, so we can discuss these types of things and communicate and get on the same page and develop a good relationship. This weekend, we will have the council members there, the mayor will be there, and several of the city staff will be there to answer all your questions.
Thank you. Repeating the question, what actions would you take to support a positive working relationship between the mayor, the town staff, and other various committees and groups serving the town of Kittitas? Ms. Pageant Downey, you have 60 seconds.
There are 3 words that I live by. Anybody who knows me knows this, and that is transparency, honesty, and communication. Although I do already have some great relationships with our staff and many local resident volunteers and community action groups, I do believe the best way to continue to grow these relationships is through those key words, transparency, honesty, and communication. Not simply in closed one-on-ones, but also through regular town halls. I would like to see them happen more often, and having an open door policy in the mayor's office for both employees and community members.
Thank you. Question number 5. How would you describe the town of Kittitas' efforts toward being a welcoming town for all peoples? Ms. Pageant Downey, we're going to let you begin this round. You have 60 seconds.
This is a really simple answer, but it is exactly how I feel. Our city is often referred to as a friendly place. People comment on the smiles that they're greeted with regularly. It's one of the best parts about living in a small community, and I'm proud of our effortless positivity and welcoming nature in Kittitas.
Thank you. Repeating the question, how would you describe the town of Kittitas' efforts toward being a welcoming town for all peoples? Mr. Camarada, you have 60 seconds.
Okay, we have always been a welcoming city for all people to come to. This last weekend, we had the 4th of July celebration that brought a lot of people into town. That way we could get to know each other and make friends. We hope to have more social events so people can get together and learn about each other's cultures. The town hall meetings will be designed so that people can present their views, different cultural views, and we can learn from each other and be even more open and more welcoming to the different peoples who come to our town.
Thank you very much. Question number 6. If you are not elected, what town issues or ideas will you continue to work on, if any? Mr. Camarado, we begin with you. You have 60 seconds.
Okay, the first thing I would want to work with is I would want to get on the committee to develop the train station and to get it open and operation and help along the John Wayne Trail. The second project I would like to work on is a committee to develop and put together a plan to develop and build on Palmero Park. Those are the 2 things I would like to work on.
All right, thank you. Repeating the question, if you are not elected, what town issues or ideas will you continue to work on, if any? Ms. Pageant Downey, you have 60 seconds.
I was born into volunteer work. I will always be the girl that rolls up her sleeves and volunteers to help in any way that I can. If I'm not elected, I will probably redirect my volunteer efforts towards rebuilding the key communicators group with the high school here. And at one point I was the chairwoman for the events committee here. I love events, and so I will probably still be a very active participant and actively involved in creating, volunteering, and making those happen.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, we have been collecting questions from our YouTube audience. I want to remind you that we only have time for up to 3 questions. Our volunteers may have combined or reworded the questions to maintain nonpartisanship or for clarity. If we do not get to your question, remember, you can always reach out to the candidates via email and ask them directly. Okay, all right, first question. What are your plans to promote law and order and support public safety as the city of Kittitas grows? I will repeat that. What are your plans to promote law and order and support public safety as the city of Kittitas grows? Ms. Pageant Downey, this is your question to begin. You have 90 seconds.
I am law enforcement family. My father is a retired police chief. I very much support good officers. I am very proud of our department and how far we have come, and the appointment of our new chief of police and new hires. I think that we're doing a great job. We recently made a 4th officer position, and so we've grown our department. And I think as our city grows, I will just continue to look at growth in our department and more patrols and supporting my police officers.
Thank you. Repeating the question, what are your plans to promote law and order and support public safety as the city of Kittitas grows? Mr. Camarada, you have 90 seconds.
Okay, as Holly said, we have just hired a 4th officer. I'm looking to hire a 5th officer in the next couple of years to get us a full force police department. Then we will start looking for volunteers for the police department to help support the system. We are also looking to get us accredited and certified by the state as a certified police department, which will make us eligible for grants to improve our equipment and to get us better supplies and maybe more officers and to help the city develop a better protected citizens.
Thank you. All right, here's our second question. During the recent wildfire east of town, residents overwhelmed town hall phones and 911 with calls. How could Kittitas prepare residents for the next big crisis, fire, pandemic, etc., so this does not repeat? So let me reread that question. During the recent wildfire east of town, residents overwhelmed town hall phones and 911 with calls. How could Kittitas prepare residents for the next big crisis, fire, pandemic, etc., so this does not repeat? Mr. Camarado, we go to you. You have 90 seconds.
When you have an emergency or people are stressed, they are going to call. There is no way to stop them from calling. We best we can do is put on more people to help answer these calls, because these citizens have legitimate questions and need straight answers as to what is going on. And it's a matter of communications. We need to communicate what is going on with the citizens.
Thank you. All right, repeating the question. During the recent wildfire east of town, residents overwhelmed town hall phones and 911 with calls. How could Kittitas prepare residents for the next big crisis, fire, pandemic, etc., so this does not repeat? Mr. Pageant Downey, you have 90 seconds.
Well, I agree with John. Citizens have legitimate concerns, and I don't think that you can completely put a stop to those phone calls. But as I mentioned before, I would really like to see our city implement a telephone notification system. Like social media is great, the internet's great, but not everybody has access to that. I think that our city has been so much better about communicating and using those routes to let people know what's going on. But a telephone notification system would be, it would be great. It's something that we need.
All right. Well, thank you. So those are the questions we've received from our YouTube audience. So now we're going to go on to closing statements. So let's see. Miss Pageant Downey, you have 60 seconds.
Sorry.
You have 60 seconds to make your closing statement.
Okay. My closing statement is simple. I would like to thank the Kittitas County League of Women Voters for hosting this. And for those who took the time out of their evening to listen and have an educated vote, I thank you. Those of you who are not registered to vote, I highly encourage you to register to vote. It's nice that these things can happen so that our citizens can have an opportunity to get to know their candidates and have an educated vote. So please get out there, vote. It's not only your right, but your duty. And thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Camarado, you have 60 seconds for your closing statement.
Okay, I would like to thank you for having this Zoom debate. I am very happy that the citizens get a chance to learn what we are all about and where our plans are and what our decisions will be in the future. I hope that the people get registered and do their voting as they should. This is an important event, and they need to choose the person they want to run their city. So I just hope that they all get out and vote, and that we have a wonderful next 4 years.
All right, thank you. I'd like to thank John Camarado and Holly Pageant Downey for sharing their views and their willingness to serve as Kittitas mayor. We want to thank our co-sponsors, the Ellensburg Daily Record newspaper and the Northern Kittitas County Tribune, for sharing the information about these forums and these forum videos throughout the voting season. Finally, thank you to the many league volunteers who make these events possible. To get more information about all candidates running in the 2021 general election, the Kittitas League has created a nonpartisan online voters guide where you will find links to the candidates' websites and other helpful resources. You can also get information at vote411.org and at the Washington State Secretary of State's office. Remember to vote for the candidate that best represents your views. Every vote counts. Your vote matters. And I hope you'll join me by casting your ballot in the August 3rd primary election. Thank you.